I request the audience for a moment, आप ये सोचिए कि आपका अपना बिजनेस है, आपकी अपनी कंपनी है, कोई भी कंपनी, और आपको उसमें लोग हायर करने हैं. You need to hire people to run your company. Let's assume that for a moment. Now, what is it that you will look for? You will look for cash.
And what you feel, what kind of skill set is required really in today's world, and especially which is, the basic expectations of any employer from the freshers?
Academic institutions, the fundamental role, the way I understand it, is to impart knowledge that brings you to a certain level of competence and understanding.
I know it's very complicated question, but I would love to hear it from you.
Well, the number one tip for HR people who are doing interviews is,
हेलो एवरीवन, वेलकम टू एचआर स्कूप. आज एचआर स्कूप आपके लिए एक ऐसी विमेन एचआर लीडर जो 40 अंडर 40 बाय बिजनेस वर्ल्ड अवॉर्डेड हैं और जिन्होंने गवर्नमेंट ऑफ महाराष्ट्र के साथ एंड एज अ एंटरप्रेन्योर also working as a corporate HR leader now and having more than 17 years of experience, let me welcome Ms. Sudha Krishnamurthy on HR Scoop. Hello, ma'am.
Hi Deepika and hi HR Scoop.
Hi, how
Lovely to be here.
Thank you. And we are glad that you are here. And you said yes, and the kind of conversation we had, it was really amazing. The kind of experience you talked about, it was very eye-opening for me. The very versatile kind of exposure you have, the entrepreneurship, the government of experience, and having an HR experience. I would like to know your journey more.
Oh well, I started out as a science nerd. जब मैं स्कूल में थी मुझे साइंस का बहुत शौक था. महाराष्ट्र में मेरी परवरिश हुई. I studied in Maharashtra, and in this state we have a Dr. Homi Baba Young Scientist competition for students in middle school. It was the thrill of a lifetime when I got selected from my school.
Wow.
And represented my school at that forum, learned how to apply science in practical experiments and projects, and that experience really was a mind-opening one, because it made me realize that the world is not just what your teachers tell you or what your textbooks tell you. The world is what you make out of what you learn from it. And from there, well, tracks changed. I did my bachelor's in commerce, an MBA, and then I've been working for the last 17 years now. I started my career with Dell. It's a major technology company. Worked
Wow.
with them for 4 years. And then I decided to become an entrepreneur. Everybody thought I was crazy. I didn't come from a business family. So they thought, oh, did she make so much money in the first 4 years that she wants to quit her job? Or what is she really up to? But I had the firm conviction that I had some value to offer. And clearly the market also acknowledged it. So for 4 years, I was an entrepreneur. But I did struggle with scaling it up. That's when I wound up shop, worked briefly with the government of Maharashtra in the skill development space. It's an assignment very close to my heart because I got the opportunity to design the public-private partnership policy for vocational education and training in Maharashtra, which is now my home state. Thereafter, corporate life beckoned, so I joined Kotak Life Insurance. I was with them for 7 years, and for the last 2.5 years I'm with Rockwell Automation, a Fortune 500 major, which has a growing presence in Pune.
Wow. Yeah, I know about this organization, and very interesting journey. But why so many, the different areas, and the government, and then business, and then a job. So why you have decided to jump into the business and then business to government and the company again?
It's like a thali. When you have food served on the thali, you have rice, you have roti, you have a few sabzis, you have some pickle, you have some papad, and each one has some value to contribute. And when you eat each one, and let's not forget the sweet dishes, you feel that they have given you some value, right? but you don't eat unless you're hungry. Likewise, my entire career has been built on this cornerstone that I firmly believe that the human resources, the human capital, are the biggest differentiating asset for any organization. So the more strategically employers look at their human capital and employing people like me to do that, the greater the benefits for the entire ecosystem. So while a lot of people might think that this is very, very different sectors, the way I see it, it's all a different environment, but for the same thing. Throughout my career, there's only one thing that I've really done. I've helped organizations that I was employed with to make better use and take better benefit of the people and talent that they are employing.
Wow. Wow. So, since you have closely worked with Government of Maharashtra and that too into skill development, what you feel about, there is a lot of misconceptions around career strategy. So, what's your take on this?
That's an interesting point that you brought up. Skill development, the way it is defined in the Kaushalya Vikas Vibhag or skill development department of the government, they are looking at vocational education and training. What does this mean? This means that how is it that we can give certain skills to someone who knows nothing about that skill, but who has some basic level of middle school, high school education done, so that they can become employable. The objective of such programs is pure employability. But career strategy is a much larger topic and something that I am very passionate about. Because a lot of people, whether it was my generation or the more younger one, have been following the herd. हम ये देखते हैं कि हमारे आसपास के 7-8 जने क्या कर रहे हैं, हमें लगता है फिर हमें भी वैसा ही कुछ करना चाहिए. अगर हम ऐसा नहीं सोचते तो हमारे पेरेंट्स की एक्सपेक्टेशन को फुलफिल करने में हम अपनी ज़िंदगी लगा देते हैं. दिस डिफाइंस अ लॉट ऑफ आवर पीपल वेर इन हमारे खुद के इन्नेट कुछ स्ट्रेंथ्स होती हैं. जब तक हमें वो रियलाइज़ होता है तब तक करियर ट्रैक चेंज करना, रिस्क, फाइनेंशियल ऑब्लिगेशंस, ये सारी चीज़ें आके क्लटर कर लेती हैं. So the earlier in life we realize that we need to think through our careers for ourselves and not let people around us define it for us, the more conscious we are about the choices that we make.
Wow. And what all other steps to make those choices?
अगर आप एक फ्रेशर से बात करेंगे तो उनसे पूछेंगे आपको आपके जॉब में क्या चाहिए. And I teach at Symbiosis, so very often I ask this question to my batch, and you'll typically hear answer, अच्छी जॉब चाहिए. अच्छी जॉब में क्या चाहिए आपको? And the answers would be a great brand, great money, some work-life flexibility, but beyond that, what? Once you get into the door of the company, then what? फिर कहते हैं बट मैम हमने तो कभी काम ही नहीं किया है किसी कंपनी में, हमें क्या पता कंपनियां कैसी होती है, जाएंगे एक्सपीरियंस करेंगे तो पता चलेगा. बट आप जब जाते हो कंपनी के दरवाजे के अंदर, आपकी एंट्री हो गई, आप एम्प्लॉई बन गए, तो वहाँ पे आपका मैनेजर बैठा है. Yeah, you have a manager over there. Your manager has a goal sheet for you. You got to fulfill all those expectations which are there on the goal sheet. You keep performing, get a performance appraisal. 1 साल निकल गया, 2 साल निकल गया, कुछ साल बाद आप realize कर रहे हो, hey, I'm fulfilling somebody else's objectives. What am I supposed to be doing with my skills and my life? Is this the right thing for me?
True.
वो realization, especially जब humble background से लोग आते हैं, तो after you reach a certain level of financial income, तब realize करना चालू होता है that oh well, maybe I could have made some other choices. That's what I meant.
Wow, super. So, as you said, employability is not that broader term. The career strategy is the broader term of it. But employability के around जो market trends हैं, वो डराने वाले हैं. Don't you think so?
किस ज़माने में डराने वाले नहीं थे?
ये भी है.
आप कोई भी शतक देख लीजिए, take any decade and take any geography of the world, you will find that at some point or the other there was some scare about employability. आप unemployment के आंकड़े देख के मत घबराइए. You don't need to boil the ocean, or I don't need to boil the ocean. What we need to figure out is, do I have something worth offering to an employer which is of value for which he or she is willing to pay me? आपको सिर्फ इतना सोचना है. अभी समझो you are a vegetable vendor. आपके पास कुछ टमाटर हैं, कुछ आलू हैं, कुछ प्याज है, कुछ बनाना है. अगर आपको ये चीज़ें बेचनी हैं तो आप क्या सोचोगे? ओके, अभी बारिश का मौसम है, लोगों को पकोड़े खाने का शायद मन करेगा, तो प्याज और आलू ज़्यादा बिकेंगे, बनाना शायद उतना नहीं बिकेगा, तो आप वो ज़्यादा खरीदोगे और अपने कस्टमर्स को वो बेचने की कोशिश करोगे, राइट?
करेक्ट.
एम्प्लॉयबिलिटी यही तो है. एम्प्लॉयबिलिटी इज ट्राइंग टू फिगर आउट what is it that the industry wants, what's the environment climate in the marketplace. Therefore, what are the companies and industries looking to hire for? Why will they hire you, a fresher, versus you, a lateral candidate with experience, instead of grooming someone who's already inside the company to do that? ये अगर समझ आ जाती है, then you know what is it that you need to learn, gain experience in, so that you know what skills to sell to an employer.
वाओ, आपने इतने बड़ी चीज़ को ना इतने सिंपल एग्जाम्पल के साथ इतनी ब्यूटीफुल तरीके से बताया ना. मुझे लगता है कि मैं आज तक एम्प्लॉयबिलिटी की इतनी कहानी सुनाती थी लोगों को, बहुत ही सिंपल तरीके से समझाया. बट मुझे इसमें एक एंगल नज़र आता है जो स्किल वर्सेस क्वालिफिकेशन का है. Do you think what is your take on it? Because I want to get lot more inputs from your side, क्योंकि आपने closely government के साथ जब काम किया है, and that too in skill development and having an HR experience, so you know the both sides, and I think this is very useful for the audience. So skill versus qualification, what you what you understand and what message you would like to give to the audience?
Let me answer your question in a little roundabout way, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
समझिए आप एक बिजनेस ओनर हैं, जो कि आप हैं, बट आई रिक्वेस्ट द ऑडियंस फॉर अ मोमेंट, आप ये सोचिए कि आपका अपना बिजनेस है, आपकी अपनी कंपनी है, कोई भी कंपनी, और आपको उसमें लोग हायर करने हैं. यू नीड टू हायर पीपल टू रन योर कंपनी. Let's assume that for a moment. Now, what is it that you will look for? You will look for cash, knowledge, the K, attitude, that's the A, skills, and habits. These are the 4 things essentially that you would look for when you're hiring anybody. Then you will decide, okay, मुझे ये नॉलेज चाहिए, ये नॉलेज में मुझे इतना एक्सपर्टीज़ चाहिए, मुझे ये स्किल चाहिए, मुझे ये स्किल में इतना एक्सपर्टीज़ चाहिए, इस तरीके का एटीट्यूड चाहिए. क्योंकि मेरा बिजनेस स्लो मूविंग है, इसमें लॉन्ग जेस्टेशन पीरियड है, या नहीं तो मेरा बिजनेस एकदम वुका वर्ल्ड वाला ही है, पर्सोनिफाइंग इट, बहुत एजिलिटी चाहिए. सो व्हाट काइंड ऑफ एटीट्यूड डू आई वांट, एंड फाइनली व्हाट हैबिट्स डू आई वांट, एंड हैबिट्स आर बिल्ट थ्रू एक्सपीरियंस. सो एज एन एम्प्लॉयर, जब आप ये डिसाइड करते हो कि आपको क्या चाहिए, देन यू गो लुकिंग फॉर इट. सो दैट्स द एम्प्लॉयबिलिटी पर्सपेक्टिव टू इट. नाउ लेट्स लुक एट व्हाट डू दीज वर्ड्स क्वालिफिकेशन एंड स्किल रियली मीन. Because skill, well, you need a certification these days to tell the world that yes, I'm skilled at it. Unless you can demonstrate via a portfolio, whether it's a digital one or an offline one, or you can make models that explain to people that, hey, this is an engineering model that I made. If you can have something called work sample, मैंने अगर रोबोट एक बनाया और एक एग्जीबिशन में डिस्प्ले किया, then do I need to show a certificate कि मुझे robotics आती है? No. The qualification is just a certificate. It's a certificate for the years of knowledge that you have acquired through academics. It's a certificate, a piece of paper that tells the world that your level of knowledge and skill is up to a certain acceptable standard, अब वो स्टैंडर्ड इंडिया में इज़ डिफाइंड बाय यूजीसी नॉर्म्स ऑफ इतनी इतनी पढ़ाई करनी है तो आपको बैचलर की डिग्री मिलेगी, अगर आपने पास किया फलाना फलाना परसेंटेज आपको मिला तो आप इस क्लास के श्रेणी के हो जाते हो. सो ऑल दैट इट टेल्स इज दिस इज this standard.
Okay.
But how do you apply that standard at the workplace? That's an altogether different ball game. And that's really the root cause of why talent acquisition or hiring managers say candidates नहीं मिलते और candidates कहते हैं कि नौकरी नहीं मिलती है, because there's quite a bit of a gap over there.
So, but that market standard asks for the certifications and those degrees.
अब क्या करें? Now, if you have, let's go back to the vegetable seller example, yeah? You have so many onions that are available. इतने सारे प्याज है, सफ़ेद प्याज हैं, पिंक प्याज है, आजकल तो डिहाइड्रेटेड प्याज, ऑनियन फ्लेक्स, पता नहीं कौन सी वैरायटी के मिल रहे हैं.
Correct.
राइट ना, एज अ कस्टमर आप ये सोचते हो कि ओके व्हाट विल फुलफिल माय नीड्स. अगर मुझे पकोड़े बनाने हैं तो I will prefer a certain type of onion. If I want to make a pasta, maybe I'll find an onion powder more convenient. That's what happens with employers in the talent market too. They have a certain need. Every employer is pretty clear on what's the knowledge, attitude, skills, habit, the cash that they're looking for. अब वो cash अगर हासिल करना है तो मैं किस तरीके का candidate hire करूँ? It becomes very difficult when you're faced with an ocean of resumes.
Yeah.
है ना? Starting point तो resume होता है. That's the traditional hiring process at least. Now, एक वैकेंसी के लिए अगर आपके पास 3,000 से ज़्यादा applicants आती हैं, which is pretty normal in the entry level.
Correct.
Then as an employer आप अपना कितना समय, energy, effort लगाओगे to evaluate each of those?
Not possible.
Right? So कहीं ना कहीं आपको छांटने का process करना पड़ता है, which is why there are qualification based eliminations, there are cut-off score marks based eliminations, because what does that tell the employer? It tells the employer, hey, this is this quality of onion, not this quality of onion. So I just don't have to worry about the standards. Why? Because that's what the qualification tells me. That doesn't mean a dropout can't be a genius. I'm sure history has enough examples that all of us know about. But qualifications matter too.
Yeah.
Even in today's world where people have started questioning whether it's worth it to study for 16, 18, 21 years of basic degrees and then pursue something that will make you readily employable. Well, a qualification does tell a company about your serious commitment to acquire knowledge,
Right.
especially in fields which are conceptually very heavy.
Right, right. I agree to this. And what you feel, what kind of skill set is required really in today's world, and especially which is, you know, the basic expectations of any employer from the freshers?
3 टाइप की एक्सपेक्टेशन होती है when it comes to the skill set, and then there are a few hygiene factors. But let me address the skill set first. The first type is functional. Whatever you say you know, do you really know it? Basic
Okay.
functional integrity and a certain standard of knowledge. Why? Because the employment contract is mainly based on that.
Yeah.
We know that you don't know our products because you have not worked with us. You've probably not worked anywhere. But what we want to know is if you are saying that you know machine learning of a certain level of proficiency, do you really know it? So that's the functional competence part. Then there are soft skills or power skills. Now people think that, oh, these will be learned along the course. But no, one of the biggest things companies are looking for from freshers is whether you are capable of working in a team. Because कोई भी company में कोई भी काम isolation में नहीं होता है.
Right.
You do need to interact with people no matter how technically wonderful you are. If you have the absolutely shitty attitude, you're not going to get hired.
Of course.
So being able to demonstrate that you can work well with a team, which means you can accept when you make a mistake, you are able to learn from others, you're able to support others and stretch when required. These are some basic soft skills. And the biggest soft skill is communication. किसी के पास कोई सीक्रेट कैमरा किसी और के दिमाग के अंदर नहीं है. So unless you are able to articulate what is it that you think about something, you're able to speak up, it's very difficult. So people who may not be technically that great, but who can speak very well, listen very well, and take actions accordingly, those soft skills really matter. So functional skills, soft skills or power skills. And finally, it's also about strategic skills. Now all companies may not look for the third category. There could be some very large employers who hire truckloads of candidates every year who don't need to evaluate for strategic skills because they are hiring that volume every year, right? उनको पता है the cream will rise to the top. True. And when they are taking so many, there will be definitely cream that emerges from it. But smaller sized employers definitely look for strategic skills. When I say strategic skills, दो कदम आगे क्या आप सोचते हो? When are you able to anticipate what are possibilities of a situation and how to mitigate that? Are you interested in doing that? And most important, learning agility. That is a strategic skill today. अगर आपका basic orientation नहीं है कि मैं कुछ नया सीख सकूं, तो बहुत मुश्किल हो जाता है because our world is just changing so fast.
True. As you said, strategical, skill, which I feel it is not required for every role.
Proportion vary करता है ये तीनों का. At some point, so depending on the environment, the kind of the organization, the role that you're entering into, and depending on your own strengths of how is it that you want to play the career path game, as I say, the variation or the proportion of each of these three parameters differs. It's not equally important for all roles. But I've seen over the years that people with strategic skills tend to grow fast regardless of the kind of domain they get their first jobs in.
I think strategy is required even at home.
Oh, absolutely. All it means is that you're thinking, adjusting, adapting, relearning fast.
Correct. I agree. What do you feel, what all are the roles and responsibilities of, training institutes, educational institute, where these people or, these entities comes into the picture, how they can contribute to this particular area?
I think these days the trend of getting students to pursue projects, industry collaborations, it's an excellent trend. The more it picks up, the better, because giving the students a flavor of what's the real world is important. At the same time, depending on what is the subject that the student is pursuing, it's important to give enough time for academic understanding too. Let me give you an example. Now, if someone were to be learning psychometric testing, which is essentially about understanding how is this person likely to behave using a set of tools, standardized tools.
Correct.
If that person is in a hurry to go and apply it in the real world, that might be disastrous because the underlying base of knowledge is important. If that underlying base of knowledge is strong, then with time, whatever is the new technological innovation that comes in, you'll adapt quickly and connect the dots faster. So academic institutions versus certifying bodies are two different roles that they play in our society. Academic institutions, the fundamental role, the way I understand it, is to impart knowledge that brings you to a certain level of competence and understanding. A certifying body says the stamp of how good you are or the proficiency level of what is it that you've learned. That's how I would look at it.
Wow. As you said, institutes and training certified bodies are two different. But मुझे लगता है इनका एक huge responsibility है to train people. And at least having that collaboration with the corporates, what the demand is in the market, and creating future leaders accordingly, instead of the core subject and everything which is coming in the their particular courses or anything.
It's like this. If I enroll for a nursing program in a nursing college, I'd expect to be learning nursing. I won't be expecting to be learning accountancy, right? So what is the educational institution choosing to impart as knowledge to the students is important. वो क्या सिखाना चाहते हैं, वो कैसे डिसाइड करते हैं. टिपिकली एजुकेशन इंस्टीट्यूशंस या कॉलेजेस कह लो, यूनिवर्सिटीज़ कह लो, उनके पास एक करिकुलम डिज़ाइन करने वाली एक बोर्ड होती है. वहाँ पे इंक्रीजिंगली दीज डेज प्राइवेट सेक्टर के सीनियर पीपल आर इनवाइटेड, इसलिए ताकि इंडस्ट्री का आउटलुक उनके सिलेबस में बिल्ड करें.
करेक्ट.
It's not definitely not a perfect world, but I'm glad to see there's some change happening there. There is lot of room for opportunity in this space. जितना ज़्यादा इंडस्ट्री का कोलैबोरेशन होगा with academia in designing the curriculum, उतना ज़्यादा स्टूडेंट्स का बेनिफिट होगा. वरना इशू क्या हो जाता है, आप जब गोइंग बैक टू द नर्सिंग एग्जाम्पल, एक नर्सिंग प्रोग्राम के लिए एनरोल करते हो एज अ कैंडिडेट, आपकी ये उम्मीद होती है कि मैं इतनी पढ़ाई इतने सालों के लिए अगर मैंने इस इंस्टीट्यूट में कर ली तो उसके बाद मैं इस टाइप का जॉब कर पाऊंगी जिसमें मुझे इस टाइप की तनख्वाह मिलेगी और मैं ये स्किल्स के लिए जानी जाऊंगी.
करेक्ट.
राइट. बट प्रॉब्लम कहाँ पे ब्रेक डाउन, वेयर डज द प्रॉब्लम ओकर, ब्रेक डाउन कहाँ पे होता है? वहाँ पे होता है जहाँ पे एकेडमिया जो है वो इंडस्ट्री नीड्स को 10 साल पुरानी वाली इंडस्ट्री नीड्स मान के अपना करिकुलम चला रहा है.
करेक्ट.
और आज की इंडस्ट्री का नीड कुछ और ही है. तो जब तक बच्चे पास हो जाते हैं, स्टूडेंट्स पास हो जाते हैं, तब तक द स्किल्स आर नॉट रेलेवेंट एनी मोर. नाउ दिस इज अ सीरियस प्रॉब्लम, एंड दिस इज नॉट अ प्रॉब्लम ओनली इन आवर कंट्री. This is a problem in many countries, and different countries have solved for it very, very differently. For example, जर्मनी में जिस तरीके का वोकेशनल इंटर्नशिप होता है विद द इंडस्ट्री, इट्स अ वेरी फैंटास्टिक प्रोग्राम. आपको हैंड्स ऑन एक्सपीरियंस पढ़ते पढ़ते मिल जाता है.
ओके.
इंडिया ने रिसेंटली एक नेशनल स्किल पॉलिसी, आई एम नॉट श्योर इफ आई एम गेटिंग द नेम ऑफ द पॉलिसी राइट, लॉन्च किया है. बट अब वो इम्प्लीमेंट कैसे होगा उस पे है. उसमें 8th स्टैंडर्ड के स्टूडेंट्स को भी वोकेशनल एक्सपीरियंस एंड ट्रेनिंग के लिए प्रोजेक्ट्स विद इंडस्ट्री का रिकमेंडेशन है. इट्स मेंशन्ड इन द पॉलिसी. अगर इस तरीके का कुछ इम्प्लीमेंट अच्छे से हो तो it can make a great deal of difference. In my view, it takes about 5 to 7 years for a change like this to really show results in critical mass to the industry. But from a policy direction perspective, this is an excellent move. But yeah, proof of the pudding जैसे कहते हैं lies in the implementation. अगर वो सही तरीके से हुआ, इंडस्ट्री के कोलैबोरेशन के साथ हुआ, तो स्टूडेंट्स का सबसे ज़्यादा बेनिफिट होगा और इंडस्ट्री का भी.
करेक्ट. बट एज यू सेड, अगर ये पॉलिसी आ रही है इंडिया में कि 8th स्टैंडर्ड के बच्चों को इंटर्नशिप का मौका मिले, सो आई थिंक मुझे लगता है ये प्रॉब्लम शायद जड़ से ख़त्म हो जाएगा.
ये काफ़ी बड़ी बात है, स्पेशली गिवन द कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी ऑफ द मैटर. हमारे यहाँ पे जितना अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट है, एंड वी कीप्स हियरिंग दी स्टोरीज ऑफ PhD पास आउट किया है बट प्योन की नौकरी कर रहे हैं एंड थिंग्स लाइक दैट. सो अंडर एम्प्लॉयमेंट इज़ ऑल्सो वेरी बिग इशू. एंड देन देर इज़ द होल रिटर्निंग टू द वर्क फोर्स आफ्टर टेकिंग अ ब्रेक. ये भी बड़ी दिक्कत आती है लोगों को जब वो जॉब ढूंढते हैं इन कैटेगरीज के लोगों को. तो गिवन ऑल दिस कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी, इफ़ वी देन वांट टू मेक a new whole volume of workforce, well, loosely called workflows, 8th standard के students को workforce करना, but well, they will be doing an apprenticeship sort of a thing. That means we need to create opportunity of that scale.
Of course.
Which means that a lot of coordination, collaboration and joint efforts between industry and the government policy implementers is essential, without which ये टेक ऑफ नहीं कर पाएगा.
if I can think of doing it, and while imagining it's happening in India, it I consider it, industries have to change lot of things in as an internal infra, because they have to make the friendly work environment for the students, because they are really not the one who is even passed out 12th standard. Even graduates are not comfortable, postgraduates are not comfortable working in an industry. Then how 8th or 9th or 10th standard?
Oh, it's going to be a massive change. But I'm a firm believer that अगर आपने कागज़ में कुछ चेंज किया है, which is the policy, उसको ट्रांसलेट किया into a good program which has operationalizing standards कि इसको कैसे implement करना है, and if that's done in collaboration with the industry, who is end of the day paying for all of this,
Sure.
right? They are going to be paying for employing all these people. So it needs to consider a strong voice of the industry. और फिर ये आता है इम्प्लीमेंटेशन से, पूरा पक के आता है इम्प्लीमेंटेशन के लिए. So, well, why not? It could transform the way our country and our workforce is today.
So I think the kind of rapid market is changing and the industry demand is changing. आप लोग as an HR अक्सर एक सवाल पूछते हो बच्चों से, where do you see yourself in 5 years? तो मुझे लगता है ये क्वेश्चन भी खत्म हो जाएगा क्या इंटरव्यू?
ये क्वेश्चन सदियों वाला है, एंड द इंटेंट बिहाइंड दिस को एक बार समझना इम्पॉर्टेंट है. द इंटेंट इज टू सी इस बंदे की सोच कहाँ तक है.
ओके.
Nobody is looking to hold you to what you say. अगर आपने कहा कि मैं 5 साल बाद फलाना पोजीशन तक पहुंचना चाहती हूँ, फलाना पैसे तक पहुंचना चाहती हूँ, I want to be creating this kind of wealth, I want to live this kind of a family life, I want to have this much status in society. 5 साल बाद आपने अचीव नहीं किया तो कोई आके आपको बोलने वाला है चल झूठे? No. It's about when you are asked that question, what are the variables you are able to think of?
Okay.
How is it that you envision the next few things? Do you have a certain commitment to the path that you're taking and things like that?
Wow. I think that's a wonderful example again. So what if I ask you, this is in HR, which all are the questions one HR should ask during interviews, and what you personally recommend to the HR, I mean HR leaders who's taking interview on a daily basis, they should not ask few questions. So the list of asking the question and not asking the questions. I know it's very complicated question, but I would love to hear it from you.
Oh well, the number one tip for HR people who are doing interviews is make your candidate feel comfortable.
Okay.
अगर आपका कैंडिडेट उसका बेस्ट परफॉर्मेंस दे पाते हैं और फिर आप उनको इवैल्यूएट करते हो, it's a win-win for the candidate and for the employer. ये stress interview and all of that, unless it is one specific round for a certain kind of job that requires an immediate, ER में नौकरी करनी है इसीलिए आपको stress interview लेना है to see how this person performs in a stress interview, तो वो बात और है. But that's not 80, 90, 95, maybe even 99% of the jobs. The bulk of our jobs require people to be team players, and therefore listen more. That will tell you more about the candidate than asking all these crazy funny questions. जितना आप candidate को बात करने देंगे and you navigate that conversation to what is it that you are looking for in terms of cash, knowledge, attitude, skills, habits, उतना win-win रहता है for candidate also from an experience perspective, and for the employer in finding that hero that you're looking for.
Wow, very nice. And similarly, generally after the interview, HRs used to ask, or the hiring manager used to ask to the students, do you have any question? 90% of students do not have any questions. What questions of list you suggest to those students कि उनको ये पूछना ही चाहिए?
Number one, please look at Google, ChatGPT, your favorite source, and put this question, go prepared mentally with a list of 3 to 5 go-to questions. ये वो मौका है आपको जांचने के लिए कि ये कंपनी आपके लिए सही है क्या. Unless you're looking at the first job to be just a stepping stone, you probably want to look at it a little more closely. Now, especially if your employer is not a world-renowned brand, if it's a smallish company, if they're giving you a role that you're really interested in, then you need to ask questions around things that are important to you. So, ChatGPT में बिल्कुल डालिए at the end of the interview what are questions that I can ask. Typically answers क्या आएंगे ये भी बता देती हूँ. Answers आएंगे a little bit about the culture of the organization, about how fast have some recent, what kind of career paths have some recent people who've been hired in this role taken in the organization. इस तरीके के questions जो हैं ये आपके काम के हैं. And they also let the company know that you're curious enough about the company to know a bit more about them. This is an opportunity for you to display little bit of your knowledge, है ना. तो कंपनी के बारे में थोड़ा सा ऐड करके फिर अपना क्वेश्चन ऐड करेंगे तो कंपनी को भी इंटरेस्ट आता है. बट इसको फिर आप लंबा स्पीच एंड देन अ क्वेश्चन मत करिएगा. Because at the end of an interview everybody is tired and they probably want to look at the next candidate. So keep it succinct, brief, and at the same time clear.
Wow. आज भी इंडिया में ना स्टोरीज बिकता है, right? And from both sides. So the employer must have some stories. The job seeker who is searching for a job, उसके पास भी कुछ ना कुछ स्टोरी तो होती है, right? So what kind of stories you suggest for employers and employees कि उनको इंटरव्यू के टाइम पे शेयर करना चाहिए?
स्टोरीज का एक फॉर्मेट है इन एन इंटरव्यू. पहली बात तो ऐसा एक हुक स्टेटमेंट के साथ ओपन करिए जिससे कि ये पता चले कि आप ये स्टोरी बोल क्यों रहे हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, आपने कुछ देर पहले मुझे पूछा दैट you worked with the government of Maharashtra and what was your experience about employability and things like that. And I started with what's really the purpose of skill development. So result पहले बताना बहुत important है in a way that grabs attention so that they want to hear the rest of your story. आप देखिए, अभी आप Instagram या YouTube Shorts या जहाँ पे भी आप देखते हो, when you're scrolling, unless it's a nice catchy headline, do you bother to watch even a 1-minute video? No, right? That's the same thing with everybody. जैसा आप खुद behave करते हो वैसे सामने वाला सोचता है. So start with a strong opening statement that has some result in it which whets the curiosity of the interviewer to ताकि उनको जानने की उत्सुकता हो कि आपने ये कैसे किया. Then give context. That's the second step. So first result, then context. Then context gives, okay, मैंने ये अचीव किया, बैकग्राउंड क्या था, भूमिका क्या थी, ऐसा ऐसा हुआ, इसके लिए ये प्रॉब्लम था, इन लोगों को तकलीफ़ हुई, मैं इन लोगों का प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करना चाहता था या चाहती थी, इसलिए मैंने ये एक्शन लिया, विच इज़ द थर्ड वन. जब आप एक्शन के बारे में बोलते हो तो पता चलता है कि आपका क्या कंट्रीब्यूशन था कहानी में. हो सकता है कि ये टीम वर्क हो. फॉर एग्जांपल आपने ट्री प्लांटेशन का ड्राइव किया हो, है ना. बहुत बार स्टूडेंट्स करते हैं कॉलेज में इस तरीके के इनिशिएटिव्स, बट उसमें आपका स्पेसिफिक रोल क्या था. इंटरव्यू इज़ नॉट हायरिंग ऑल दोस 25 स्टूडेंट्स हु वर part of the organizing team. The interviewers, you are sitting in front of the interviewers, so you need to highlight what were actions you did. तो ये हुआ एक्शन. एंड फाइनली, सबको पहले बोली हुई बात भूल जाते हैं, आपको रिजल्ट वापस से याद दिलाना है कि start with the result, go to context, go to action, end again with the result on this is how you brought this kind of impact. So when I say result, it's about आपने जो भी किया उसके वजह से फ़ायदा क्या हुआ. That's essentially what we are looking for when we are saying result.
Wow, so interesting, and as well as you have beautifully explained the entire story context which students should bring out in their interviews. ऐसी कौन सी एडवाइस है which is I would say the 100% का एडवाइस which you would like to give to the audience, जो उनको जॉब मार्केट में हेल्प करेगा?
ब्लाइंडली सब जगह नौकरी मत भेजिए, क्योंकि फटीग सबको होता है। क्या आप वो स्पैम मेल पढ़ते हैं जो आपको क्रेडिट कार्ड कंपनियां, फाइनेंस लोन्स की कंपनियां एक्सेट्रा भेजती हैं? खोलते हो क्या? नहीं ना। While it might seem very harsh, the extent of bombarding that employers get on resumes is very high. Instead, आप ये सोचिए कि what sets you apart. Now, I may be a very average student with very average skills. मेरे जैसे हज़ारों होंगे, लाखों लोग होंगे, but मैं ऐसा क्या कर सकती हूँ जिससे कि जिस कंपनी के पास XYZ प्रॉब्लम हो उसका अटेंशन मैं ग्रैब कर सकती हूँ। इसके बारे में सोचना है, डिपेंडिंग ऑन व्हाट फील्ड यू आर इन। फॉर्मेट अलग अलग हो सकते हैं। आई एम श्योर मैनी पीपल हैव नोटिस्ड अबाउट द गाय हु created a whole job interview process using ChatGPT. उसने अपने आप को बहुत सारे कंपनीज को भेजा through using smart prompts, and he landed himself jobs which were beyond his reach if he had not tried that approach. I'm not saying that approach is for everyone, but it's very important कि आप ये डिसाइड कर लें कि आपका क्या स्ट्रेंथ है और आप उसको कम्युनिकेट कैसे करेंगे। अब देखिए, देयर मस्ट बी एटलीस्ट 10 पीपल हु नो यू इन योर स्कूल, कॉलेज, friend circle, coaching class, whatever. What do they know you for? Can all of those 10 people say one thing in common about you which is professional? If not, there's something you need to do about how people perceive your professional skills.
Wow.
And that is what I say your core strength. For example, मुझे जितने भी लोग अपने प्रोफेशन में जानते होंगे वो इतना तो जानते हैं that I'm good at HR, especially in HR strategy. Now, what is that one thing for you? Can you help people around you remember one thing that you're exceptionally good at professionally with an example? That is all that you need. Whether it is the professional networking game or storytelling to the interviewer or differentiating yourself from the masses. Identify what sets you apart, and that could be something very simple as showing up on time. I'm sure we've read about Bollywood stars who are famous for not coming on time, and we've also read about some Bollywood stars who are known for being punctual, and people like that. People remember that about them, isn't it? So हो सकता है बात छोटी हो, बट आपके ऊपर है कि आप उसको कितना पावरफुल स्ट्रेंथ बनाते हो और कितना मेमोरेबल बनाते हो अपने बारे में।
Wow, it was simply, amazing to interact with you and learn so many things. The way you have explained for the audience, whether it's institutes, the government, employer, as well as job seekers. मुझे लगता है इतने सिंपल तरीके से कोई कैसे बता सकता है। एंड मैं हमेशा कहती हूँ स्टोरीज़ बिकती हैं। डेफिनेटली अगर आप भी ऐसे जॉब सीकर हो जिसको लगता है कि इंटरव्यू में स्टोरी कैसे बनानी है, ऑफ कोर्स आई एम नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट दोज फेक स्टोरीज, इट हैज़ टू बी रियल। सो डेफिनेटली ये पॉडकास्ट सुनना ना भूलें। इट विल हेल्प यू टू अंडरस्टैंड हाउ यू कैन क्रिएट योर ओन स्टोरी एंड यू कैन get hired in your dream company. So thank you so much, ma'am. It was really amazing, to know many things, and I'm sure that you are very good at HR strategy, which I would like to know something about it apart from this, because the audience wala part is over, but I would like to understand for my HR audience what kind of HR strategies are missing in today's HR.
I wouldn't say today's HR particularly, but overall.
So especially the fresher one who's coming from the college.
I got your context now. Okay.
Yeah.
When you're starting out as a fresher, very often companies would hire you and put you into recruitment. If you're in HR specialization, that's where most HR professionals start their first jobs. Now, it's up to you on how you do that job and then move to roles that matter to you. But while you're doing that, keep in mind that end of the day, the function exists for 3 reasons. Number one is you're the face of the employer to the employee. So you need to be able to serve the employer's interests. And number two, you need to uphold the laws of the land. So इस कंट्री के जो भी कायदे कानून हैं जहाँ पे आपका एम्प्लॉयर बेस्ड है उसको अपहोल्ड करना आपकी जिम्मेदारी है. सो उसकी जानकारी होना आपको ज़रूरी है. एंड यू ऑल्सो नीड टू नो हाउ टू इम्प्लीमेंट इट. एंड थर्ड, एम्प्लॉय एडवोकेसी. ये आपका रोल है कि आप सिर्फ मैनेजमेंट की बात ऊपर से नीचे नहीं पिलाएं लोगों को, बट यू आर ऑल्सो एबल टू बी द वॉइस ऑफ द एम्प्लॉयज़, चैनलाइज दैट एंड रिप्रेजेंट दैट टू योर स्टेक होल्डर्स. ये तीनों चीज़ें इंपॉर्टेंट हैं. एंड रिगार्डलेस ऑफ विच स्पेशलाइजेशन इन HR यू वांट टू स्पेशलाइज, ये अगर आपने मैथ्स अपना फिट कर लिया तो आपका HR करियर दौड़ेगा.
Wow, very interesting. And the last but very important and very close to my heart question, which since you are women HR leader and till now we have done almost 25 shoots, more than that I guess. So I found very rare women HR leader on HR Scoop. So I don't want to miss this opportunity to ask you this question is, what's your call on, women in sales is, and how you see the future workforce, especially I'm talking about the women, coming into the sales jobs?
What is sales? Fulfilling a demand.
Of course.
There is a demand in the market. The company decides to produce a product or a service offering or a combination of all of that and call it a solution and sell it.
Right.
So you're fulfilling a demand of a customer. Now, gender has got nothing to do with it.
True.
So long as you have the basic understanding of estimating what's really the demand, catering to what is it that the company has to offer, and you can make that bridge happen, you'll be good at it.
Sorry to
But
cut you here. Sorry. I want this answer in Hindi.
सेल्स क्या है? मार्केट में एक नीड है, एक गरज है, एक डिमांड है. उसको फिलफिल करना सेल्स का काम है. वो डिमांड को जनरेट करना मार्केटिंग का काम है. कई बार लोग सेल्स और मार्केटिंग के बीच में कंफ्यूज हो जाते हैं और फिर सोचते हैं फलाना टाइप ऑफ काम के लिए मेन बेटर है, फलाना टाइप ऑफ काम के लिए वुमेन बेटर है, बट जेंडर का इसमें कोई रोल ही नहीं है. सो लॉन्ग एज यू हैव द एबिलिटी, जब तक आप में ये क्षमता है कि आप ये समझ सको कि मार्केट में क्या नीड है और आपकी कंपनी क्या बनाती है, वेदर इट इज़ अ प्रोडक्ट और सर्विस और सोल्यूशन, और इसको हम कैसे मैच करें, बस ये अगर समझ है तो सेल्स में बिल्कुल बढ़िया करियर बन सकता है. अब क्या है, हर प्रोफेशन में कुछ कुछ हाइजीन फैक्टर्स होती हैं. सेल्स में एक बहुत बड़ा हाइजीन फैक्टर है मीटिंग टाइमलाइंस एंड टारगेट्स, क्योंकि वो पूरी दुनिया ऑफ सेल्स, रिगार्डलेस ऑफ विच इंडस्ट्री एंड डोमेन दैट यू बिलोंग टू, एक टारगेट होता है, उसको अचीव करना पड़ता है, फिर दूसरा टारगेट मिलता है, फिर उसको अचीव करना पड़ता है. सो आर यू कंफर्टेबल वर्किंग इन दैट काइंड ऑफ इन्वायरमेंट? अगर आप मेल हो फीमेल हो उससे कोई फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता है. इफ़ यू हैव अ बेसिक willingness to work in an environment that holds you completely accountable. मतलब सेल्स में there is no 19-20, मैं ये लेकर आई डील या नहीं लेकर आई, इट इज़ 0-1. ना ये हुआ रिटेल या B2C जो बोलते हैं, बिजनेस टू कस्टमर काइंड ऑफ सेल्स. कई बार लोगों को सेल्स सोच के यही लगता है कि यही होता है और फिर घबरा जाते हैं और सोचते हैं कि ये हमारे लिए करियर नहीं बना. बट B2B भी होता है सेल्स में, बिजनेस टू बिजनेस सेल या इंस्टीट्यूशनल सेल्स. इसका डायनामिक बहुत अलग होता है. वहाँ पे भी टारगेट्स होते हैं, वहाँ पे भी अचीवमेंट करना पड़ता है, और टारगेट्स बढ़ती ही हैं, अचीवमेंट भी बढ़ता रहता है और आपकी तरक्की वैसे ही होती है. बट द मोडालिटी इज़ वेरी वेरी डिफरेंट. जब फॉर एग्ज़ाम्पल आप एक ऐसे कंपनी में काम करते हो जो मशीन्स बनाती हैं जिससे कि अदर कंपनीज कैन क्रिएट देयर प्रोडक्ट्स, आपका जो सेल्स का प्रोसेस होगा वो बहुत अलग होगा. सो अगर आप सेल्स में करियर करना चाहती हैं तो आई वुड से विमेन वेलकम टू इट. आपने अगर विमेन CEOs की प्रोफाइल देखी है फॉर्च्यून 500 कंपनीज़ की, शायद ही कोई ऐसी महिला आपको मिलेंगी जिसने सेल्स में स्टिंट नहीं किया हो. तो द पोटेंशियल टू रीच द टॉप इज़ इमेंस इफ़ यू हैव अ स्ट्रॉन्ग ग्राउंडिंग इन सेल्स. इसको आप एज अ गिफ्ट एंड अपॉर्चुनिटी समझिए, कम मत समझिएगा।
वाओ, अमेजिंग। जो यंग विमेन हमारी कॉलेजेस से पास आउट हो रहे हैं, sometimes family pressure, there are many other societal pressure which this sales job is not meant for the women. But now I consider that women are independent and they can take their own decisions. So what message you would like to give those women who's getting passed out and they are getting opportunities into sales and they are not joining it? उनको आप क्या मैसेज देना चाहते हो?
क्या आपको वेरिएबल पे अट्रैक्टिव लगता है? है ना?
पैसा।
मैंने इतना ज़्यादा एफर्ट लगाया तो मुझे इतना ज़्यादा मिला। ये अगर आपको मोटिवेट करता है तो सेल्स में आपका बढ़िया करियर बनेगा। आप सिर्फ ये सोचिएगा कि आपके जो बाकी के अदर कंस्ट्रेंट्स होंगी उसके बेसिस पे आपने अपना इंडस्ट्री सोचिए, जिस टाइप की कंपनी के प्रोडक्ट्स हैं वो सोच लीजिए, एंड मैनेज योर कंस्ट्रेंट्स अकॉर्डिंगली। बट द प्राइमरी ड्राइवर इज वेरिएबल पे से क्या आप मोटिवेटेड हो तो सेल्स के लिए आप बने हो।
वाओ, आपने एक लाइन में ही सीधा आपने ही सेल्स कर दिया। एंड नाउ आई एग्री दैट रिक्रूटमेंट इज अ सेल्स। आपने सीधा पैसा दिखाया। सिंपल।
अब एचआर में हम करियर बेचते हैं।
Yes, yes. Yeah, very, very true and very powerful too. Yes. So thank you so much coming over here and spending time with us, and it was really amazing discussion. Again, as I said, stories was very, very interesting. The discussion was superb, insightful, and मुझे लगता है जो हमारा पर्पस है HR स्कूप का, कि दुनिया के हर उस कोने तक जाना, और जो भी ऑडियंस है या जो भी ऐसे लोग हैं जो अपने करियर को लेके कंफ्यूज हैं, या फिर आई एम नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट एनी जेंडर स्पेसिफिक women or men, it can be anybody, even the parties involved who creates career for each of us, which is institutes, employers and employees. सो मुझे लगता है, एंड इंक्लूडिंग गवर्नमेंट, आज तो हमने गवर्नमेंट का भी बहुत सारा डिस्कशन किया। सो ऑफकोर्स ये पॉडकास्ट मुझे लगता है ऐसे वो सारे लोगों के लिए बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, और बहुत अच्छा आपका जो इनपुट्स है वो कितने सारे लोगों को हेल्प करेगा। सो आई थिंक यू आर द वन हु इज़ लाइक very, very helpful for us and giving this time and the valuable inputs to the HR Scoop audience. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your kind words. What work you are doing is amazing. आप bridge कर रही हैं the gap between people like us who are working in the corporate and various other sectors, and the youth that really needs the insight. So HR Scoop and Deepika, congratulations on this initiative.
Thank you.
It's fantastic. I wish you every success in making this grow. And HR Scoop के audience के लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद to watch this podcast. This is my first one, and I'm absolutely thrilled that this is on such a topic which I hope benefits all of you.
Wow.